Yes, there we go. The game has started. This is game number 2 in the series between Optimus and Lillekanin in the quarterfinals of the Go4sc2 Cup number 394. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we find a red Terran player from AT Gaming, a teammate of Elazar. It is Optimus. And his opponent, the meching Terran, it is going to be the blue Terran player, Lillekanin. And he used to be at Alien Invasion, but did he just change his team to the Red Bloods? Would not be surprised to do so. I did see that same clan tag for Hanfi, and I do know that they play a lot together. So, Lillekanin from the Red Bloods is spawning in the top right hand corner. Now, as I already mentioned, Lillekanin really likes his mech play. Does not always open up with a refinery first, and that's exactly what it's looking like right now. He's getting his barracks down. And he'll probably follow up with a refinery. That indicates that he wants to open up with a Reaper. Scout out what his opponent is doing. But Optimus has opted to go for that refinery first. He's going to go into the barracks after that, which means that Optimus will have the faster factory. But still, he has to be very careful with that Reaper that is most likely going to knock on his door very fast. And I was already talking about Elazar, about that last game. Elazar was very impressed with himself, and I was very impressed with him too. That was an amazing TVZ, and it was very close, and it was very intense. So definitely a game worthwhile to check out. But this time, it will be Optimus or Lillekanin who's going to be his next opponent. He really wants to face off against Optimus, I believe he said. So let's see if that is going to be the case. Or if Lillekanin is going to end it here. Now the factory will be on the way for Optimus. What is happening in the base of Lillekanin? He's opening up with a Marine and following that up with a Reaper. Now that is a very odd order to make things happen. I have not seen that before, I do have to say. But let's see if it works out. It might be some sort of anti-timing that this reactor is going to be safe to produce a reactor, which means no more production for Optimus for a little while when he tries to move into that base with it. But also, well, there should be also a factory very soon for Lillekanin. But first, there's going to be a command center, and he has that 100 gas. Will we see that the factory is going to come down? Yeah, he's going to queue it up. There is going to be that factory from Lillekanin. It would be very odd if Lillekanin would not go for a mech play. But the Reaper will be sent out. That is going to be the first scout of today's game. Of this game, at least. There are Marines at the top of the ramp. But the Reaper will not care too much about that. Unless he tries to move up that ramp. Which is he doing exactly. He loses the Reaper. Oh, that is very painful for Lillekanin. This still could be anything. And Lillekanin will not know what he is facing off against. Optimus at least knows that there has been a gas taken. One Hellion for Optimus has been kept inside his base. He's producing one at a time, and also a medevac. So it looks like he wants to go for a Hellion drop, something that can be very difficult to deal with. Might also just want to go for a Marine drop with a Hellion run by, but well, the best chance actually is that he tries to elevator them up one set at a time and just go for a Marine Hellion push straight into the main base of Lillekanin. But let's see how that is going to work out. The Marines are of course a slower unit, so they get a trip in the medevac, and the medevac is moving its way across the map. Of course, the command center for Lillekanin is about to be done. He's producing that orbital command for it right now. But he has a Widow Mine ready. He puts it on the ramp. That is going to deal quite a bit of damage if units are going to go past that point. Now the vision from Lillekanin inside his base is pretty decent. Just this little edge is where he does not see anything. So he sees that the first drop is going to move in. Will he get the Widow Mine? The Widow Mine does get taken out, and immediately he evacuates 5 Marines against the 5 of Optimus. But there are of course also a bunch of Hellions here. Oh, that medevac getting very low on health. Another Widow Mine immediately burrowing. That can get a very nice shot off, but not triggering just yet. Now he wants to move up that ramp, but remember that Widow Mine can do a lot of damage. So far only one supply depot was taken out. The Hellions have been doing quite a bit of damage. One of them does get picked off right there. But the supply is still dead even. No workers really have been killed off. A little bit of damage to the command center, but that is not a priority for Optimus right here. And this is a very awkward push. He's just trying to trade away, but he cannot really move up to that ramp. Oh, the medevac does get killed off. And that pretty much means that Optimus has to return back home right now. He has no high ground vision anymore. There are 2 Widow Mines out for Lillekanin. And he just has to cut his losses. Lillekanin currently 5 workers up over Optimus. All the damage done to that command center is going to be pretty much futile. And that was 500 hit points that he lost right there. But this time it's going to be a double Widow Mine drop with a few Marines for Lillekanin. There is that command center for Optimus on the low ground too, but he's behind a few workers right there. And that is going to be 4 for quite some time if there are no supply blocks, of course. Now Optimus is still keeping him a little bit contained, but sending all those units forward, that's a lot of Hellions that are not back at home for the defense. So this medevac definitely has potential to do quite a bit of damage. So let's see, this is going to impact him quite a bit. Hellions, oh, those mules have just been dropped. They do, well, no, they do survive so far. 1 SCV only being killed off, but the command center might fall. SCV does get picked off. Hellions are returning back home. But still, there is a Widow Mine here that needs to be activated. Getting another Marine right there. But still, he needs to sacrifice another scan to get rid of that. Also, the lost mining time on the mules are always very difficult to deal with. But Optimus so far has the supply lead. He's scanning to get rid of those pesky Widow Mines right there. And we do see that the mech play is going to continue for Optimus. He's currently sitting on 2 factories producing a lot of Hellions. Blue Flame is on the production tab, and on the other side of the map, what do we see? 1 Raven is out. Those Marines are present too. And a second factory is now going to be on the way, albeit quite a bit later than that of Optimus. Also, no Blue Flame has been started just yet, but Lillekanin does have the advantage of having 1 tank out already. Now 20 supply lead for Optimus at this point. Still, he is behind in workers. And that natural base only now starting to really mine from Optimus. That's a lot of Hellions that Optimus really has here. And if he can get on top of those, on top of that tank, that's going to be very nasty. But the tank will deal so much damage against those Hellions. So let's see if he really wants to make something happen. There are quite a few Marines out. There are now 15 Marines out. No, excuse me, 13 Marines out. 4 in the bunker, of course. And that bunker is something that you will not break with your Hellions. Especially now that there is a full wall off for Lillekanin. You can just raise those supply depots, and that is going to be a very bad day. But Optimus is going to follow this up with a Banshee. The first one is moving its way across the map. He's getting cloak. A second Banshee is going to be on the way. And Optimus has taken that map control. Those tanks are not the most mobile units, and especially with the Marines, they're going to help out quite a bit, but they're not in the right position just yet. Now there is going to be a cloak Banshee, but there are Vikings here. Cloaking is not done just yet. The first Banshee falls pretty much immediately. He only took half health away from that siege tank. Not really going to be worth it. Now the barracks will be here for the spotter. The 4 Vikings will hammer down that damage on it, and I'm not quite sure how I like this push, because there's just no way for Optimus to break this location. The point defense drone from that Raven also negating a lot of damage that his Vikings are trying to deal to the Vikings of Lillekanin right there. He just has those Hellions. There's no armory on the map at this point, so he cannot even transform them into a Hellbat. And this is just a push with no ending. He's trying to move it forward, getting the depot on half health, but already losing so many of his Hellions. So many health is gone. Lillekanin evened up the score and the supply right there. Another Banshee is about to finish up. There's even a missile turret in every mineral line. The 3rd command set is going to be done for Lillekanin. It is 3/4 of the way done for Optimus still. But I do believe that Lillekanin just has a stronger composition at this point. Nothing is here to deal with those Vikings actually, so a Banshee from Lillekanin could do devastating damage. But now tank production has also started. Banshee also on the way for Optimus right there, but that is already a lot of Vikings, and 1 Raven is not going to cut it at that point anymore. So it will come out, it might drop a point defense drone, but there's nothing here that can defend it. He has Hellions and he has those tanks. But once it pops, it's gonna die off immediately. The Raven is popping out just as those Ravens are landing, but it lifts up and it does get taken out. Come on, you can do it. And there's just nothing here to really deal with it. Now you can just land those Vikings into the mineral line and SCVs are gonna go down. Now the Vikings are superior in the air. The Hellions just cannot do anything at the front. So many tanks here, it would be suicide if you wouldn't go for that attack. And even the missile turrets do not complete. Vikings are not fighting in the air this time. They are fighting with their machine guns on the ground. And this one Viking actually survives for quite some time because it is being repaired so heavily by those SCVs. But this time it's going to be Lillekanin who has the 20 supply lead and still the better composition. A Banshee is going to be very annoying, maybe killing off one of the supply depots, but still that is going to be the question. And one more volley will take it out. There it goes. And looking at the unit stat, there's still a Banshee out for Optimus. A lot of Hellions, but no siege tanks, just one did pop. Now Lillekanin is going to go move forward. And if those tanks, they don't even have to siege up against this amount of Hellions with the amount of tanks that he has. Just because they do extra damage against light. But the tank is of course not a light unit. Now this Banshee, it was chilling out at the corner, the top left corner of the map. Third base is being attempted for Optimus. That is not going to happen. But Lillekanin might not even care about that. Hellbats are now going to be here. Siege tank is going to siege up. The Vikings have air dominance, and air dominance is very important in a TVT matchup. Now Lillekanin is not going to bull rush his way in. He still keeps the Vikings to check out what is happening at the third base. Outer turret dropping down by Optimus. That is going to be a little bit of extra anti-air, but still 3 Vikings against 1. 2 Vikings remain for Lillekanin. Excuse me. A Banshee doing some damage at the third base of Lillekanin, but should not matter too much. But the longer this goes on, the more tanks that Optimus is going to have. Looking at the production facilities, 4 factories against 4 factories. And there, well, there's another tank on the way. More Hellions for Optimus. And he's not going to need those Hellions. He's going to need tanks. He's going to need to equalize the tank count to deal with this efficiently. He did not even go for the medevacs. Still, air dominance with that one Viking from Lillekanin. And in tank versus tank, you need to get the positioning right. And it looks like Lillekanin has had enough. He's moving forward. He's sieging up all of his tanks. You look at the obliteration of all of those Hellbats. Still one siege tank from Optimus dealing quite a bit of damage. But there are so many tanks left from Lillekanin. And there's going to be the GG, and Lillekanin from Team Red Bloods has taken the 2-0 victory over Optimus and will move forward to the semifinals to face off against Elazar.